Okay, so this is actually, we're going to remove the spare tire and access the navigation, actually not navigation unit, I take that back. In a navigation equipped vehicle, the radio tuner and the factory Sirius module are actually located beneath all of this. So right now we're just going to disassemble everything out of here. It's actually very, very easy. So we got to start by getting the spare tire out, which you've probably done a time or two. It's easiest just to twist this whole thing, take it out of here, just get everything out of the way. And the spare tire, it's got this really nifty little handle, helps you from to prevent breaking your back. So just grab it, two hands, pull upwards and out, just grab the tire, kind of roll it up, and move it so you didn't break your back. That's a good thing. Take this plastic piece, kind of, it's a real fun thing getting this thing out of the way. So now we need to remove this piece right here, which, be very careful with this unit. Not that it's fragile, it's just got a bunch of electronics in it, and it seems like it's somewhat expensive. So we've removed hundreds of these, maybe thousands, and never had an issue, but you just need to be aware that there's some sort of a, I think it's the air leveling suspension is in here. So it's secured by two 13mm bolts on the rear and two 13mm nuts on the front. Just going to use a quick Torx release. You probably won't have this. You probably have to use a socket. So unless you go out and buy one of these, which is it's totally worth it. Now just take this unit and flip it back. We don't want to worry about doing it, just leave it. We don't need to touch it anymore. Now you can see this little piece here, the BMW piece. 1, 2, 3 Phillips head screws. Just remove them. And this is, you know, if your car has a factory Sirius module and you're trying to do an iPod install, or if your car has navigation and you want to tap in and get a clean signal down here for the subwoofer amp, it's a good spot to do it for any number of reasons. And this car, as you can see, does not have the factory Sirius module. If it did, it's located right down here. But here's the radio tuner. This is where, if you're doing any sort of FM modulation, here's the antenna. Just plugs in and out here. If you're doing your auxiliary inputs, they're both right here. If you need an ignition source, a very safe, reliable ignition source is right here in this purple and white wire, which is actually what we would use for an amplifier turn on in this particular vehicle. It's what we're going to use. It's a very safe source. It's not tied into the iBus in any way, so it's isolated. And so this is where our connections are going to be made. Of course, the battery's here. We'll make our positive power connection here, and our negative terminal is right here. At this point, since we're going to be doing a lot of connections and working with a lot of stuff, I'd like to go ahead and disconnect the negative battery terminal just to make things a little bit safer, because there are a lot of electronics back here, and although we've never had any issues, we certainly don't want to start having them. So grab your 10mm at this point, and which I've left over here, and just go ahead, just disconnect the negative battery terminal. Just place it right there. Now everything's cool. We don't have to worry about damaging anything. This harness right here, if you can take a razor blade and cut this black tape so we can make our wiring connections, and we'll go over that here in just a minute. But again, in these cars with navigation, most of our connections are going to be down here. The factory satellite radio. If we're daisy chaining a dice install off of the factory satellite radio, it's going to take place right down here. So now that we know how to get there, let's go ahead and start making some connections. Alright, so we've got the battery exposed, we've got the subwoofer enclosure sort of started. Everything's kind of starting right now. We're in a good position. Let's go ahead and get this part of the floor out of the car. It's actually held in by 3 of the same black 10mm nuts that the other side was held in by. We've got one here, and one back there. Comes out in the same way. It's also handy to take this out if you're making your Bluetooth connections, or if you're hunting for your iPod connections, your 3 and 6 pin cables are often located back here. This side's always a bit tricky to get out. So you get to this side. You can see now we've got all kinds of area. Here's actually the Bluetooth module. Here's the Bluetooth antenna. Bolts right up onto the top of all of this. If your car didn't have the factory Bluetooth installed, all of your connections are going to be located down in this cubby hole. So once we've removed this, accessed the cubby hole, all of our connections are going to be down here. Furthermore, the 3 and 6 pin connections, which we've already done a dice install in this car, are located right down here as well. And you can see they're tied to a little harness, and sometimes they bury them way down in here, so you kind of got to fish them out. We've already got them out of the way, so that's where they're located though. Right here, this big guy here with these 3 harnesses going to the top of it is our amplifier. This is what's driving all of our speakers and our factory subwoofers. And so we're going to make a couple of connections in certain instances. In this particular install we're not, but in some of the other cars, specifically the non-DSP cars, we're going to make our connections here. This is a DSP car, as identified by the 3 plugs, whereas the non-DSP vehicles have 1 plug. Just some information for you, so maybe to help you decide if your car has DSP or not. So once we've got everything clear here, our workspace is free, we will go ahead and move forward with the connections.